Shift is MSNBC's exclusive online news network that we launched back in December. And today I want to tell you a little bit about the story behind Shift and how we took it from idea to reality. And then we'll go ahead and give a demo of the watch experience, which is where you can catch all of MSNBC's content online, including Shift. A little over a year ago, we found ourselves at the intersection of a couple of major challenges and opportunities. The upcoming implementation of TV Everywhere, authentication on the TV content on our website was going to drive a decline in our video views. The demand for original programming was rising, both on the consumer and the ad sales side. We wanted to build and target new, younger audiences and grow our community. And then lastly, we saw the digital space as a really great opportunity to test new talent, test new content, test new format for TV. So essentially create a farm league for TV on Shift. And so our business strategy was to create a new digital brand and a new network called Shift that would have live tentpole events, some of our original documentaries and series, and a new slate of programming, which you can see here. And so these are all of our 14 flagship shows that we launched with in December, and it's essentially a blend of lifestyle and news programming. We had a really, really great programming lineup, and what we wanted to do was build a really great home for this content online, and in a way that our users were really going to be able to immerse themselves in a watch experience. So I'll dive into the feature sets a little bit here, but as Keith mentioned, unification of the viewing experience was really important for us. And so Watch is where you can consume the TV Everywhere live linear stream. So what you see on TV, you can see on the website. So you can see that here with like the tab MSNBC TV. It's where you can consume this new online-only channel, Shift, with its unique original programming. And it's where you can also view all of our on-demand content. So we had this great programming strategy and a really kind of aggressive product vision. And the first order of business for our technology and engineering teams was, how are we going to produce and distribute all of this content? Or essentially, how are we going to build a digital network? So we launched a discovery effort internally to evaluate the various video supply chains that we already had and see, is there any way we can repurpose or scale any of our existing infrastructures to deliver on this new experience? And we found quite a number of gaps in our existing solutions. And that's where Elemental came in. And so, we had dynamic as well as manual ad insertion requirements to be able to monetize the various video offerings. We had a live to VOD requirement, because what we wanted to do was essentially make sure that the content on our website had permanence. Now, digital, unlike TV, there's a permanence to content. A URL doesn't disappear when a live event is over. And there's nothing more frustrating for a user than when you go to Facebook and see your friend shared the State of the Union speech, and you go to click on it, and you might have just missed it, and you get to either a dead end or a slate that says, sorry, you missed it, right? So what we wanted to do was have a live to VOD workflow where we could essentially preserve that viewing experience. And once I've shared on Facebook, or once the search engines have crawled our URLs, when they go back, they get to see that content in VOD format. We also built out a master control room for all of our channel and live event management operations. We installed all this new encoding and video delivery infrastructure, and then we built a brand new video player and web app all at the same time on a really aggressive timeline. And our partnership with Elemental was really key to making sure that we were successful in delivering that. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into the workflows specifically, because I think this is the secret sauce behind the Shift success story. These workflows are what enable us to essentially put on a 24/7 network with very limited resources and provide a seamless user experience that's not limited by operational or technology constraints. So we have our live workflow, and really the two key innovations there was, these aren't just ad hoc live streams, right? This is a channel. So there's scheduling components, there's ad insertion components, And there's program transition components. So we literally have a producer sitting in our, what we call our master control room, the Digital Video Operations Center, the DVOC. So we have a producer sitting in that DVOC from 9 to 5 saying, producing these live events, producing these live shows, and saying, okay, now I'm ready to go on to the next show. And the workflows that we built out with Elemental allowed us to also develop an experience that would key off of, a producer saying, start the next program, and then the entire experience would change so that the context around the video was for the next program. So we'll show you a little bit of that in the demo. And then this live to VOD workflow, again, this was crucial for one of the key UX elements in our experience, and that was really make sure content lives past just the lifetime of it being live. And then lastly, rerun. This is really what made the difference between us being a 9 to 5 operation and a 24/7 operation. So we don't have people sitting managing the network 24 hours a day. We have folks that come in 9 to 5, produce our 7 hours of truly live programming during the day, and then schedule a playlist that plays out during the night or over the weekend, which you're going to see as well. So these workflows powered by Elemental Live and Elemental Delta are really what made the difference for us in being able to create these new experiences. So I'll go ahead and jump into the demo. So this is the new watch experience, and as I mentioned, we have, just to give you a little bit of the lay of the land, in the upper right quadrant are our channels. So we have MSNBC TV, and this is the live linear TV everywhere stream with all of the schedule driven by the same EPG services. And that rerun capability that I mentioned, which allows our producers to say, here's the lineup over the weekend, is visualized for an end user here. So an end user can come in and say, oh, okay, what's going on at 1 a.m. Eastern time? Because I want to watch news at that time. So this is essentially what our producers are doing on Friday evening before they head out. They say, okay, this is what I'm doing until Monday morning. And then lastly, this is our on-demand channel. And this is just where all the entire on-demand viewing experience happens on MSNBC. So if we click into Shift, Code Forward is actually one of our shows that we have in partnership with Recode. And it covers all the hot button technology issues of today. And so we can see here, this is actually a rerun. It's a previously recorded show, and then we're just re-airing it over the weekend. And then as far as the rest of the area on this page, this particular video doesn't have any comments, but another element that was really important for us is social TV. We have a really engaged, passionate community of activists and progressives, and giving them a space to drive conversation, not just around video, but around issues that they care about was really important for us. And really a key success story for that commenting ability was during the State of the Union, we had over 1,600 comments of people chatting back and forth, talking about how they felt about the remarks that Obama was making. And then again, this is all the metadata that's related to the video, and then we also have our producers program content related to that should you want to kind of dive deeper into Code Forward. But the real great thing about this in the live to VOD workflows, in the example of State of the Union, when someone went to Facebook and came back to this video even today, they would go back and not just see the video again, but they'd also see all of that conversation and the context around it, and the conversation can continue. So those are the types of experiences that Elemental Delta actually allowed us to realize. And lastly, I'll just kind of point out some of these features. Another thing for us was driving focal point. We realized not a lot of people, or not everybody is going to be a social person and want to comment while they're watching videos. So we have quite a number of different modes as well to kind of configure your viewing experience. So what the user wants is what's really driving the definition of our products today. This was our first iteration of a launch. We have a web presence, and so we're on both desktop and mobile. And 2015 is really the year about distribution for Shift and taking it out into mobile apps and the OTT space. And so we're really excited, and with Elemental, we've not just delivered a great experience, but what we've done is positioned ourselves for continued innovation and growth leading up to 2016, which is when we have the news version of Olympics, the primary elections.
In the early days of this kind of internet television slash networks are always creating different types of content. We're trying to figure out would longer clips work better than shorter clips.
Mm-hmm.
What we're showing is the actual TV experience, a linear TV experience, where it's not short clips, but it's actually what's on TV. Do you find people are viewing whole programs on their phones?
The phone consumption isn't as high. Where we're actually seeing the majority of the tail of viewing is on the VOD experience, which is actually why the live to VOD workflow is so important. Watching on a computer, not television. We're about 80% desktop right now. But we do anticipate that will shift, right? We were originally 90%, and in the last year and a half, it's gotten to 80. So we're definitely seeing an upward trend of mobile video viewership.
You mentioned mobile, but I just went on my iPhone and looked for your app, and it's not there. What mobile app is available?
So right now, the mobile app that we have available is the TV Everywhere app. So we have our TV content available today. The app that I'm talking about is in the works for the end of this year. And that's where we want to have what we call the full watch content offering. It's not a surprise to any of you in this room, but video workflows and video supply chains are extremely fragmented. And so Shift is a completely different infrastructure than TV Everywhere, which is completely different than our short-form VOD, for example. And so for us, this year is about bringing this experience to a mobile app and OTT. But if you went to a mobile browser, you could find all of this content.
Looking at that sort of social element in the comments, how much moderation are you putting into that, and how much hand-wringing went into how strict you would be with that policy? So
we already had a team of actually 10 moderators. So we had quite a robust personnel infrastructure already. And actually, this experience is powered by an in-house solution for a commenting platform. And so we actually did make sure, especially for a release where the visibility of comments is now right next to the video experience, that we implemented some pretty robust filters. We actually disable commenting during advertising, so that our advertisers don't have to worry about somebody saying something negative about their brand. Although it doesn't save them from after the ad, but but that's why we have the moderators there. So we do actually, and especially around higher profile events. I mean, we were very nervous about the reception of the social TV element when it went out, and it was actually pretty incredible how we did not get the backlash we had anticipated. Because at the time this went live, it was also when we put up our TV Everywhere authentication. So we were expecting some negative feedback, and it was there, but it definitely wasn't at the scale that we thought it would be.
The 18 to 35 audience, and the younger scale of that, tend to be quite anarchic and interactive around their content. How are you integrating with other social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, etc.?
So we have all of their share functionality embedded. I didn't call it out in the demo, but there is a share button, and we do share to Facebook. We're actually exploring some other opportunities with their messaging platform now that it's open, to integrate there. Probably a little bit less in the video content to start, just to kind of get our feet wet in that area. Some of the other innovations we're doing around interactivity, though, we do a lot with TV in terms of voting and pulsing real time and using digital to kind of drive. We integrate voting tools on our digital site and then say, everybody go here to vote, and then you actually kind of you're able to kind of have this feedback loop. So actually, if you go to MSNBC today, you'll see we have a voting experience powered by Bing Pulse. Yes, so what happens is we have voting tools on our site, and the user will vote, and then we've integrated with our partner to basically have their data feeds integrated into our on-air graphics. So that's been incredibly successful for us, and it's something that we definitely want to continue to explore. Ultimately, we want digital drive tune in, right, to our core business, which is TV. And so we really view digital as where we have the opportunity to be the multiple touch points in a day for a user, but ultimately still to continue to build on that relationship with the cable brand. Thank you for your time.
We are Elemental Technologies, a global supplier of software-defined video solutions. We help the world's leading media companies bring video to TVs, PCs, tablets, and mobile phones. With IP video reaching millions of viewers every day, Elemental accelerates the deployment of multi-screen services. Video processing software from Elemental delivers high-quality video. Flexible, scalable, high performance, deployed with turnkey appliances, virtual machine instances, or cloud-based resources. Our technology drives the streaming video behind the world's largest live events, the highest profile content, and the most extensive broadcast networks. Whether live or on demand, our video solutions give consumers content on their terms. Our purpose is to perfect the media experience. When pay TV operators, content programmers, broadcasters, enterprise and government customers choose Elemental as a partner, they're selecting the very best in video expertise. Video on any screen, anytime, all at once. We are Elemental.